Welcome to the Big Re and Ace Pick 6 NFL offseason. Let's go, Ace.
All right, boys, NFL offseason. It's been a long 3 months since the Super Bowl ended. Excited for the NFL season. Seems like that's the only thing that's been going on during the coronavirus. So we want to kind of discuss, and there's going to be no picks here, boys, but we're going to discuss the offseason, some big offseason moves in the NFL draft, and kind of what our thoughts are for next season. We're going to start off with some big offseason moves. What do you think, Big Reed? Let's go over some of them.
First one, obviously, everyone's going to agree, Tom Brady to the Bucks.
Tom Brady to the Bucks. That was huge, unexpected. I mean, there was a lot of turmoil and talk throughout the season that Brady might leave. It's going to be his last season, and I didn't expect. I thought it was just rumors, to be honest. I thought he was going to come back, sign 2 years, 40, 50 mil, and call it a day with the Patriots. But you know, he jumped ship, and that just shows kind of like a similar, maybe like a Jordan, Bulls kind of situation where he was unhappy with something. I don't know what it was, whether it was Bill Belichick or Kraft, the owner, but there was something going on that led him to say, hey, look, I'm done. After all this success, I'm jumping to Tampa Bay. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think he wasn't treated like a superstar, and Bill Belichick treats all the players just the same, and he was fed up with it.
And that's understandable. I mean, you're the GOAT, and you get treated just like you're, Jarrett Stidham. It's not going to operate. It's not going to go well with, Brady. What do you think on the actual move? What do you think? I mean, he went to Tampa Bay now. They let go. They didn't re-sign Jameis Winston, who had 30 interceptions last year. So what do you think? How do you think he's going to fit in? And what do you think? What's your prediction for Tampa Bay?
He's got the weapons. He got his buddy to retire, Gronk.
Yeah, he got Gronk to unretire. That's huge. If he can play even close to the level that he was at before retirement. And they got They got Mike Evans, they got Godwin, right? Even O.J. Howard on the tight end.
Right.
They got the defense has been pretty solid. I mean, they were Sack City last year with Sue and some of those other guys that were just doing well. So look, I think they got enough talent, man.
Right.
They got enough talent that I think with Brady, they're definitely a playoff team, and I think at that point you get Brady in the playoffs, anything can happen. So
exactly, yeah.
I think that was a good pick. I think they had to move on from Jameis. I think he was just going to be a mediocre quarterback, maybe show some flashes, but he was never going to take them to the promised land. So I like that move.
And then we got DeAndre Hopkins traded
Ooh.
to Arizona.
Ooh. DeAndre Hopkins, all you Houston Texans fans must be so damn pissed that after you guys losing to the Chiefs, and you guys played well. I mean, you guys were up. They were up big.
24-0, right?
Yeah, they were up big. I think 28-3 at one point, and then they blew that game. And look, you're trying to get more, firepower, more offensive power, add to what you already built with Deshaun Watson, and then you go out and do some stupid move like trade DeAndre Hopkins, a top 5 wide receiver, for a second-round pick. Just another joke of a move by the coach. What's that guy's name again?
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. Don't know why he's still the coach. Why are they allowing him to be the coach and make these kind of moves, manager moves? I hate that. I mean, I love it for Arizona. Give a stud like Kyler Murray, a wide receiver like Hopkins is going to be huge, but I hate it for Texans. The only thing I can say is unless they think they're going to get some juice out of David Johnson and he's going to perform with 1,500 yards and 800 yards receiving, then maybe it works out. But I don't know if I see that.
Yeah, no chance. 0%.
Zero chance. I mean, I'm hoping for David Johnson. I liked his game, but I don't know what happened there. It's just Bill O'Brien is completely crazy.
It's never good when the coach is the GM as well.
I agree 100%. I've been preaching that a long time, especially in basketball, and same with football. So yeah, I don't like it at all. I think Watson's should be pissed. That's my thought there.
Yeah, and then next move we'll go to, they replaced DeAndre Hopkins with Brandon Cooks.
Look, I like Brandon Cooks. I think that's good. At least they made up for it. But what are you trading away DeAndre Hopkins for? It just doesn't make sense. I don't like it. I think it's a good pick for, at least they got something back to give Watson because he needs some weapons. And I don't know what's going to happen with the Rams. They just shipped out Gurley. They shipped out Cooks. They left a lot. They have a whole different roster from the Super Bowl team 2 years ago. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think everybody hyped Sean McVay out. Oh, this guy's the next best coach of all time. Da 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 da. And I think he's getting exposed as he did last year, and he's going to get exposed even more. Him and Goff both.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the Rams also needed to save money because they have to pay the cornerback. What's his name? Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Because they traded a lot for him.
That's true.
And I think they also know that. They also waived Clay Matthews, and these guys haven't got their money yet. They're suing them, by the way.
I'm reading that. What's going on? Gurley and Matthews haven't got paid.
They haven't got their guaranteed money yet.
What the hell is that? You guys are building a over $2 billion SoFi Stadium, and you can't pay your damn players. What kind of crap is that? These guys want to act like the coronavirus affected them, and that's a whole nother story. All these big damn corporations and sports teams are asking for money. When the damn, the government put out the stimulus package and wanted to help small businesses that were going to go out of business to fund for a couple months, and then you got damn organizations like the Lakers, asking for money like they really need it. It's a damn joke. You got Shake Shack, who has $100 million cash reserve. $100 million cash reserve, and they're asking for money through the PPE plan. What a joke. Yeah, and then all these companies want to come out and say, oh, we did goodwill and we're returning the money and we want to give that money to other small businesses. My ass. Why are you guys applying for that money in the first place? You got caught because this is public records and you guys got these stimulus funds, and then you guys want to ship back? The Lakers, worth $5 billion, are trying to get a $4.6 million PPE loan? What kind of crap is that? There's damn businesses out there, moms and pops, that are literally, going bankrupt, can't pay their rent, pay their employees, and that money is their own to even pay their own expenses, and you assholes are taking their money. It's absolutely ridiculous. Forgive my language, but I'm so pissed that these damn big corporations are taking the money. It pisses me off. And then you can't pay Todd Gurley and Clay Matthews a few million? How much money have you guys made? Think about how much money these NFL teams are making every year. They're paying Roger Goodell a $50 million salary. Did you know that?
Yeah.
$50 million salary. Think about how much the owners are making every year. It's a goddamn joke. Unreal. Pisses me off. These damn greedy business corporations that are getting bailed out on the government dime. You guys are private organizations. Have some damn respect for all these small and mom and pop businesses that need that money to survive. You are literally taking money off, preventing people from putting food on their table and getting diapers on their little babies. How do you feel? Bus family, how do you feel about that? God damn it. Anyhow, a little side story, got off track there, but anyhow, so I don't like it. I don't know what the Rams are doing. It'll be interesting to see.
I think they're just rebuilding at this point. Because as crazy as this sounds, I think they're the worst team in the division this year.
They're definitely worse than Seattle, definitely worse than the Niners, and and Arizona is up and coming. Yeah, so I can see that.
Yeah, I think they're rebuilding. Their defense isn't going to be as good.
It's interesting because you got Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, two of the top defensive players in the league, and your defense is not cutting it. So, McVay needs to really step up. This is a big year, I think, for him. You're not that superstar coach, bro. Pick it up, figure it out.
Yeah. Now another thing for them is who's going to be their third wide receiver because they traded Cook, so
they got what? Robert Woods. They got Cooper Kupp. They drafted somebody. I think
so. Yeah. And who's going to be the starting running back? They drafted a running back too.
Yeah, these are all
questions to be answered.
Yeah.
They have a lot of unknown stuff.
A lot of unanswered questions. So I'm not high on the Rams.
It's a make or break for Jared Goff. I mean,
And I'll call this. I think Gurley's gonna have a big year in Atlanta. I like that.
I don't know. I'm not,
I think he's gonna have a comeback year.
We'll go on to that. Todd Gurley traded to Atlanta.
Okay, Todd Gurley
waived
and signed by the Falcons. I think this is a really good value, low risk, high reward for the Falcons there. I think Gurley, I think he's got something to prove. And I think he wants to have a big year here so he can get another contract. I see 1,300 yards, maybe 500 yards receiving. I think it's a big year. I think it's a huge year for the Falcons. That's my sleeper team. The Falcons sneak into the playoffs and make a run.
It's a tough division. I don't think they'll make playoffs. You got New Orleans in there. Now you got Tom Brady there. So third best team in the division.
But you got to remember, there's an extra playoff spot now this year too. So I think they can sneak in there. I think with Matt Ryan, I think they needed that running back. Devontae Freeman just wasn't cutting it. They still got Julio Jones. They still got Calvin Ridley. So look, I think they're a team to watch next year.
All right, the other wide receiver traded was Stephon Diggs from Minnesota to Buffalo.
Look, that's a huge addition for Buffalo. Huge. Stephon Diggs is a beast. That guy's the real deal. But as I've been saying in all the videos, I'm not high on Josh Allen. And so, look, you got Stephon Diggs in there. I think they signed Josh Norman and on the defensive end. But look, I'm just not a believer in Josh Allen. I just don't believe in Josh Allen. He's not taking you to the promised land. I wish Diggs would have got traded to the Jets. They could have kept Robbie Anderson, and that would have been scary. But look, I like Stephon Diggs. I think Buffalo's in good position because New England is probably going to regress a little bit. Not as much as everybody thinks, so regress a little bit. But, I still don't, not sold on Buffalo.
I'm definitely sold. I'm a huge Josh Allen fan. Obviously, I play fantasy football. I had him on my team.
Wow.
He can run the ball. He can throw it. He's got that arm, and now he's got a weapon too.
Guess we'll see what happens. They definitely got weapons. No excuses for Josh Allen. They had 10 wins last year.
Yeah.
And so, look, you got to get 11, 12 wins when you add a superstar. And you give up a lot of draft capital for Stephon Diggs. So you got to produce now.
The end of the Phillip Rivers era, and he is headed to Indianapolis.
You know what? Really sad to see that because Phillip Rivers has been in the league a long time, Hall of Fame quarterback, no question. And they always felt like they either had a really slow start, just some things went wrong. There were a lot of kicking problems throughout his years and injury issues, coach issues, and I don't know. I always felt like they were going to get it done. This was going to be their year. This is going to be their year. And it never happened in San Diego and then Los Angeles. And I think it's a good signing for Indianapolis. They got a good team. And I think Phillip Rivers can make a big change. He's obviously a huge upgrade over Jacoby Brissett. And look how they were playing with Andrew Luck. I think Phillip Rivers, if he can control the interceptions, he can step up. And I think they're a playoff team. And I really like them. I think that's another sleeper team to watch out for. I think they can make a run.
Yeah, I agree 100% with what you said.
So I think that was a huge pickup for them, and I like it. I think he can give them maybe 2 to 3 more years, I think, depending on how he does this year. But I think he can give them 2 to 3 years. So I like it.
The Saints signed wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders.
Saints signed Sanders, another weapon for Drew Brees, and Brees just continuing, even defying his age, playing well, signed a 2-year, $50 million extension. And look, I think Brees is the real deal, as we all saw, and just adding weapons is going to help. But at some point, I want to see Brees put it all together. They won, the Super Bowl at one point, and now it's like, are they going to get back?
Yeah.
So I like it, but not a huge signing, but it's a good signing.
Teddy Bridgewater to the Panthers and Cam being waived.
That's an interesting one. Look, that's a really interesting signing. Look, Cam Newton. I'm a big Cam Newton fan, but I feel like between injuries and between his just not having that killer mindset, he wasn't able to get it together. And obviously, they lacked weapons on the wide receiver end. They had McCaffrey, but their wide receivers were never legit receivers, and that hurts. because he started trying to pass more. And you don't got the receivers. What do you want him to do? I'm a big Cam Newton fan. I think some team is going to get him, and if he's healthy, he's going to be determined to make a difference. You got to remember, this guy was an MVP, 15-1 season. He's still got a lot of football ahead of him, and Bridgewater had a solid season fill in when, Breeze was injured, but, he's another just game manager. I don't think he's going to take you to the promised land. So I like Bridgewater, but I don't think you drop Cam Newton. At least Cam Newton, you have that potential to go that 14-2, 13-3, and him have a huge season. I don't think you have that potential with Teddy Bridgewater. And then, did they even help him out? All their draft picks, which we'll get into the draft, was all on the defensive end. So what weapons do they have? They signed Robbie Anderson. That was big. I like Robbie Anderson. They got Christian McCaffrey, but you're going to need a little bit more than that. And so, I don't know. What's your thought?
Pretty much the same. They're definitely rebuilding. They know they're the worst team in the division. So, I will have kept Cam too. And then we'll go on to a surprise signing, Jameis Winston to the Saints.
Jameis Winston. Look, I was surprised. I felt somebody would take a chance on him. Personally, what I would have done, if I was the Cowboys, I would have shipped out Dak Prescott for a first-round pick and a third-round pick, or ship him out. No way in hell am I paying Prescott $35 million a year. That would be the worst thing the Cowboys could do. That will just, if they do that, the Cowboys are done for the next 5 years, not going anywhere. I would have dropped him and I would have signed Jameis to some small contract for 2 years, get some value out of him. No way are you paying Dak that kind of money. And yeah, he's got 30 interceptions, which is a big, big problem, but I think he can control it. I think, I think he can manage that. He's a good quarterback, and I'm surprised that nobody signed him. Very surprised. I think it's a good backup for Drew Brees.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I even told our friend who was a Cowboys fan that signed Winston and traded Dak.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's funny, yeah.
And it's crazy. Winston for less than $1 million, I think.
No, it can't be less than $1 million.
It was like $975 or $1 million.
No, I can't.
Something. It was very low.
It was low, but I don't know what the exact numbers were. I know when they initially signed the numbers.
Even still, I think you could legit get 2 first-round picks for Dak.
If you get 2 first-round picks for Dak, even a first and a second,
you'll easily get that for sure.
Then you ship him out so quickly. So quickly, bro. No question. Think about it. You add Jameis instead of Dak, and then let's say you shipped him out to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And then you get a first and second, you add that kind of talent back to your roster.
Exactly.
Bro, there's no question. Or you sign Cam. Are you kidding me?
Dak is just a game manager.
Get the hell out of
That's what he is.
Ship Dak out. Ship him out of here.
And we'll go on to Nick Foles being traded to the Bears.
You know what? That was an interesting one. I'm a big Jacksonville Jaguars fan, and everyone's like, Ace, you're a big fan of these guys and these guys. I like a lot of teams, a lot of players, so I like the Jaguars, and they're not Saxonville anymore, but I was really hopeful for Nick Foles last year, and he got injured in game 1 to the Chiefs. Then Gardner Minshew came in and played well. You can't knock Minshew. He played well. Minshew Mania was hot at that time. You guys remember I went big on Jacksonville last year. It didn't work out, but I was a big fan of them, and I thought they could make a run. They didn't. Jalen Ramsey caused a lot of problems there, other injuries. But look, I think Nick Foles is a good, and I'm not a big Nick Foles fan, but I think it could have worked out for him in Jacksonville, and I'm not a big fan of Trubisky out in Chicago, so I think eventually this guy's taking Trubisky's spot, and I think they have a really good defense, so I think with Nick Foles at the helm, they're a playoff team, and 10, 11 wins, and it should be interesting. I think he can take them deep. What do you think?
I don't know. It's in a tough division, though, so yeah, they can definitely win 10 games. I don't see 11. 10 is the max. It's all on their defense and how he plays out with the offense, and their running game needs to improve a lot.
Yeah, their running game needs to improve. What's your thought on Trubisky? Is he gonna?
He's done. Foles is minus 300 to be the starter.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Minus 300? 300?
Yeah.
Wow. So that's like that's somebody knows something that this guy's a done deal. I mean, you guys remember, I've been saying this for years. Trubisky's complete crap. I've been saying that on the video. You can go look back. That guy's complete trash. And finally they realized it. No way. They traded up to get in number 2 overall. That was a mistake. Honestly, somebody needs to put me in a GM position because these guys, some of these GMs don't know what the hell they're doing. They know the owners, they're somehow, connected, but this is a complete trash. One day I might be a GM for an NBA team or an NFL team, preferably NBA because I know what the hell I'm talking about. Somebody's going to sign me. It's going to happen, boys. I can turn these teams around, but, you're trading up for Trubisky. That's a joke.
Oh yeah, Deshaun Watson said that they never called him.
Yeah, that's the kind of moves that, you just get under the bad favor of your franchise quarterback, and he's going to want to bounce one day, and then you realize, why don't we ever make the playoffs? Why aren't we ever making the championship? Because you make stupid bonehead moves like that. Unreal. It just boggles my mind. But what you got to understand is, with the NFL, these are all private companies, owners that own their own teams. Doesn't mean they know what the hell they're doing, and then they find their friends and people they like to run in different roles, hire as coaches and GMs. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Bottom line. That's why there's a lot of organizations like the Steelers, the Patriots, that every year they're good. And then you got teams that are always in the toilet bowl, like the Browns. It happens every single year because it all starts from the top, tone at the top. That's what happens.
The last move we'll talk about is Jadeveon Clowney unsigned.
Clowney unsigned. Look, I guess he's asking too much. He wanted, I think, $21 million. Then he drifted down to 17, 18, and now nobody signed him. He's a really good player, but honestly, Clowney's a difference maker, really good player. But at the same time, he has the talent to be even more disruptive. And so what's going on, I don't know. He's got to stay healthy and be more disruptive. But somebody's going to sign him for probably 10 or 12 million for 1 year.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then he's going to have a really big year if he wants to get 17 or 18 million a year. Earn it. That's it. Yeah. He did well, but he didn't do great.
He didn't have that many sacks. I think he only had 3 sacks.
Yeah, so you got to step it up.
All right, we'll move on to the draft, the first pick.
All right, guys, NFL draft, first pick, Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, LSU quarterback to the Bengals. Look, I like the pick. I like Joe Burrow, but he had probably one of the best seasons in college football history as a QB. 60 touchdowns, 78% completion. Cincinnati has been complete trash for a long time, so I'm rooting for him. He's from Ohio. But look, I gotta see it. College is a whole different ballgame. I gotta see how he produces. But I think he's gonna have some weapons. He's got, AJ Green. Hopefully he comes back healthy. They drafted T. Higgins.
John Ross.
They got John Ross. They got Joe Mixon at running back. So they got some weapons. So I think it should be interesting. They have first round pick from last year, Jonah Williams, coming back, offensive lineman.
Yeah, that's huge.
So look, it'll be interesting. They could be an interesting team. They could stay competitive. So look, I'm rooting for Joe Burrow. What do you think about the pick?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're replacing Andy Dalton with Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be Andy Dalton 2.0. He'll be a solid quarterback, but not great. He can get you, won't get you where you want to be.
You know what? I think he's going to be either that or he's going to be really good. He's just going to keep on what he did at LSU.
No, I don't see that coming.
We'll see what happens. I'm rooting for the kid. Number 2, Washington, Chase Young, defensive end, Ohio State. They're saying this guy was the best player in the draft, regardless, talent-wise. Washington's got some young studs on the D-line, so he's going to help out there. Best player available, and I think what this all says is they believe in Dwayne Haskins, first-round pick last year, quarterback out of Ohio State also, and they're rolling the dice with Haskins. What's your thought on Chase Young and Haskins?
Young, I don't know. I really don't watch Big Ten, but Haskins, he's definitely a bust.
A bust, really?
I don't see it. I mean, they had to draft Young, but it's a tough call if you take Young, or do you just draft Tua and accept the loss? Haskins Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point, Big Reese. Sometimes teams are hard to like take that loss, right, and say, "Look, we threw away a first-round pick." You know, the Arizona did that last year,
I was just gonna say.
where they got rid of Josh Rosen. They said they took their loss, and they drafted Kyler Murray, and I guess they see at least something. I mean, look, Dwayne Haskins. I thought he was going to be good after he was coming out of Ohio State, a big year, but he looked like crap last year. Complete trash. You know, Chase Young is going to be a beast on the D line for them, so at least the defense should be pretty good.
Right.
And you know, Dwayne Haskins is going to have to perform, but if he performs like he did last year, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly to watch, and so they're rolling the dice one more year with Haskins. Number 3, Detroit Lions, Jeff Okudah out of Ohio State as well. Look, they wanted to replace Darius Slay. This guy's a shutdown cornerback, and I think he'll help. But still, what are you guys doing? I mean, I don't think they drafted a running back with a second. You know, who did they draft at running back? I think Swift.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift.
So, you know, they drafted a was it Swift or Dobbins?
I think
Was it Swift? Okay, so they drafted a running back. Look, I mean, Detroit's going nowhere with Matthew Stafford. He's a good quarterback, but still, they're going nowhere. Just like a mediocre team. I'm rooting for the Lions. I'm rooting for the city of Detroit, comeback city. Been to Detroit, like the city. A lot of history there. I love it. I'd go back for sure. But look, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the Lions management is doing. Enough about them. New York Giants drafted an offensive tackle out of Georgia. Let's get into the Dolphins. They had 3 first-round picks. Number 1 pick, they drafted 5th overall. Tua. How do you pronounce the last name? Tagovailoa out of Alabama, quarterback. What do you think, Big Ree?
This was the right pick. They had to roll the dice even with his injury. They messed up more than a decade ago on Drew Brees, and now they felt they don't want to mess up again. So you got to roll the dice there.
I agree. Look, you guys are going nowhere fast. You got to just acquire talent. Tua could be really good. I think you take the chance with him. He showed in college, and then he got injured, but I think you got to roll the dice. You have 3 first-round picks. Worst case, you got 2 other picks to get some other talent, but you got to roll the dice with Tua. I like the pick. And let's get to Justin Herbert, to the Chargers, quarterback out of Oregon. What's your thoughts?
I don't know about this guy, even though we watch Pac-12. I don't know what's going to happen. I think that the Chargers felt they had to do it. I would have signed Cam if I was them, but it seems like they're going the other way, maybe rebuilding.
Yeah, you know what? Look, I think the Chargers, I think this guy Herbert's going to be a bust. Hate the pick. The guy's going to be a bust. I do not like him. He'll be decent for a little bit, but he's going to end up being a bust. Don't like the pick at all. Let's go into some other picks. Look, number 11, the Jets drafted Mekhi Becton out of Louisville. That guy's a beast, a monster. I think he's going to really help out Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell. I like that pick. I think Jets can be borderline playoff team next year, depending on the wide receiver play. I know they got that wide receiver out of Baylor to help out. And
steal of the draft.
So, look, Big Reese said that guy is the steal of the draft. I like him as well. And I think they are a borderline playoff team. Fun to watch. Raiders drafted wide receiver Henry Ruggs III, Alabama.
Yeah, they just went for speed for Al Davis.
As usual, yeah. You know, he wasn't my top receiver on the board, but we'll see. Buccaneers got Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa, give some protection for Brady. You know, San Francisco drafted Javon Kinlaw out of South Carolina, replaced DeForest Buckner. We'll see what happens. A lot of receivers in the first round. Jerry Jeudy to the Broncos. Broncos are going to be interesting. They're going to be an interesting team to watch. I think they really stacked up. I like CeeDee Lamb to the wide receiver to the Cowboys. That's huge to go along with Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
They got a lot of talent. I don't like Dak, as I said, but I think that was a good pick. Any other notables, Ree?
Jordan Love, of course, to the Packers.
Let's talk about that. Big reason, big Packers fan. So I'll defer to you. What do you think, Jordan Love to the Packers?
I love the pick. I like the pick.
Ooh, love the pick.
But I don't like the overall draft. They went running back in the second round, so does that mean Jamal Williams is getting traded or cut? Is that, or maybe Aaron Jones getting cut or traded?
And Aaron Jones playing well. So.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. And they went tight end, third round.
But what do you think? I mean, the big talk is you got Aaron Rodgers. You want to give him more help, and then you're drafting a quarterback to be a successor. What do you think? You think it's the right move?
I think it's the right move. I think he's going to be a good quarterback, but I think Rodgers, they should have took a wide receiver second round. I want them to trade up and draft Mims.
I agree. I think you gotta take a receiver, give Devontae Adams some help, and give Rodgers another weapon. But the only way you take Jordan Love is if you legitimately think this guy's going to be a stud.
Yeah,
he's going to be the real deal.
Exactly.
And then maybe you can depart with Aaron Rodgers in 2 years, ship him out to somebody that wants a quarterback, and then you start Love, kind of like what the Chiefs did with shipping out Smith and starting Mahomes. Okay, so I can see that, but you better be sure, because otherwise you pissed off Rodgers, and he shouldn't be pissed off.
Yeah.
He needs help to try to get a championship, and you're drafting a QB that's obviously not going to help right now. So that was it. Trying to think, whatever. Interesting pick, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, LSU running back, number 32 overall to the Chiefs. Look, I think the Chiefs definitely should have drafted a running back. I think it just shouldn't have been Edwards-Helaire. I liked Dobbins. I think Dobbins, Swift, especially Dobbins. I'm a big fan of J.K. Dobbins. I think that should have been the pick there, but we'll see. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, it could surprise me.
That's pretty much it. I like Patrick Queen to the Ravens. I think that's a steal.
Look, Baltimore's going to the Super Bowl next year. I'm calling it right now, or at least the conference championship. They have stacked up. They even traded for Calais Campbell, Patrick Queen. Look, these guys are and they're already 14-2. So look, they're going to be a scary team. Want to touch on the pick of Philadelphia? They drafted Jalen Hurts. Philadelphia Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts. I'm going to call it right now. First of all, Carson Wentz has nothing to cry about, because you know what? You're getting paid $128 million and you can't stay healthy, so they need some protection. They got a good team, but once you get hurt, they're complete trash. Foles saved them 2 years ago, so they need some protection. I'm calling it right now. Jalen Hurts could come out of this, be the best quarterback in this draft. I'm calling it right now. Huge Jalen Hurts fan. I would have loved for Jalen Hurts to go to the Cowboys. I like Jalen Hurts, huge Jalen Hurts fan, undervalued, just kind of like Deshaun Watson. That guy's lights out, franchise quarterback. I think this guy's going to be the same. I really like that pick. I wish somebody else would have took him where he had a chance to start right away. But there's a chance. Yeah, the Chargers should have not drafted a quarterback at 6 and then got this guy. Don't like Herbert at all. Waste of a pick. You could have added a stud at number 6 and then drafted Hurts in the second round. So I really like that pick, and it's going to be fun. And, we can't wait till the NFL season starts. Who knows if it's going to start on time or how that's going to look like, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun season. We cannot wait till the Saturdays and Sundays for college football on Sunday, and getting that cup of joe and the blueberry pancakes on the recliner, just watching games all day. Cannot wait. Hopefully those days are ahead soon. Anything else to throw in, Big Ree?
That's pretty much it.
All right, boys. Well, stay safe, stay home, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and follow us on Twitter.
Subscribe, boys. That's right. All right.